Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Sam. Basically here on Drag Slotnet we take model car kits that normally is built and set on the shelf and we turn them into slot cars. I particularly build drag slot cars. Basically they're an inline replica of a drag car but 1/24th, 1/25th scale. Now slot cars have been around a long time. You may have played with them when you were a kid, what they call HO scale. They look like little matchbox cars. However, these are larger. Like I said, 1/24th is preferred, 1/25th depending on the model kit. This particular kit is a 1/25th scale. This is an upcoming build. It's also featured on my other channel, Crazy Painter 1000. Basically we take chassis kits, which are like model kits. One of my favorites to use is the Annihilator. This is the original Annihilator, which I have one already started that I'm going to show you. And then they've redesigned the Annihilator and made it lighter. So this is one of those. These kits can be purchased online, or if you have a local slot track, I would recommend getting them there. Support the local business. But this is the rear motor assembly, and I already started building this. Basically when you get them, they're in a packet like this, and they're spring steel and they're all hooked together, so you need to use a Dremel tool to cut them apart. Once you've done that, you clean and prep them, and I'll be building these up and doing a video series showing people how to build them if you're not familiar already. But this one's got a little rust on it, which I can clean off easily. It's was built a couple years ago and I never did anything with it, but I will. But this is the rear motor block. It holds the rear wheels, the crown gear, the motor sets here, and then of course there's the rest of the chassis, which isn't built, which this goes underneath the model body kit. Okay. So this would set up in here. It gets pinned once it's built, and you get your wheel spacing and things correct. So the rest of the kit, this is the front section. You also have the front axle support, which sets on here. And again, this is you use silver solder to put them together, and this is the rear wheelie bar assembly. Now, obviously I don't have all the parts that go into a slot car setting here. I'm just showing you some of the basic things. Then you have various different wheel choices. There's different brands and different styles. This is a rear axle, which would hold your rear crown or spur gear depending on your chassis, and then obviously it holds the wheels, and you have bearings or bushings that would set in the frame here where this goes through. Okay. This is a ProTrack brand wheel. It's rubber. It's 500 wide. You can get them in 400, 300, 700. Okay, it's an aluminum rim with a rubber tire, and these typically, unless you build it for no glue situation on a drag car, you typically glue the rear tires a little bit to make them stick to the track so that they don't spin. You don't want them to spin. You can blow your motor up depending on the motor. The car can crash, and of course it won't help you win any races if you're spinning, sitting and spinning. That's not good. But these are the fronts. This has a fat donut on it, which these are removable. You can also get them in foam fronts similar to the rears if you want. This is the same wheel, just with a skinnier O-ring on it. But anyway, look for videos on this particular build and many more, as well as some motor freshening builds, some of the tools you would need if you're going to build slot cars or work on them. You don't necessarily have to have everything that I will show, but to be, I guess, competitive, you want to be able to build the best slot car and motor you can. But anyway, Thanks for tuning in and look forward to more. You guys have a good night. Well, I'll remember this picture I showed you in one of the first videos I posted on these slot cars. This was, I believe it's a Willis model kit. Some of these older ones I'm not that familiar with, but this is a pretty popular kit, so I'm going to show you the video for it. So you'll see that next. All right, everybody. In this clip here, I'm spraying this body here. I removed the audio. I'm going to re-narrate it here just because the spray booth and all that, but I'm getting ready to shoot this in primer. So I had showed pictures of this in another video here. So basically, you'll see what it looks like here at the end. So I'm just spraying the first coats on it. I'd wiped the body down with some rubbing alcohol after I washed it in the sink and dried it with a hair dryer. And, to make sure there was no fingerprints or grease from my hands or anything from touching it. I guess you could wear gloves if you want, but I'm using my Posh airbrush. I think I have like a ½ ounce jar on it. I have uh, various ones. You can go like the tester size model car paint. I have some of those. I put a nipple on the top of the lid and made a little jar so I could just put the cap right on a tester's bottle if I thinned it. You can get 2 bottles of paint out of one if you want to buy the tester's thinner or reducer, or you can use whatever type paint you're using. If it's acrylic, or most of those are like an enamel. They may make lacquer ones. You have to read the label on it, but this is a pretty nice airbrush. So this little bottle will be more than enough to get all the coats of primer or paint you would need. So this is like just a little portable homemade airbrush booth that I would use. I made it out of a clear tote bin, and I put a exhaust fan in the back, and it was the right size to hold a standard household vent filter. I think it was like a 20 by 24 or whatever the filter is there in the back with all the paint on it. You can see it just sucks the paint right back into the filter, so it blows it outside. And, of course, people that paint usually test spray on the side of their, whatever they're spraying on, a piece of cardboard or something. I usually just spray right on the bottom there. You see below my hand the paint, to get how much paint I want to come out of the gun. You can adjust these. You just turn the needle valve. It's the brass piece. You'll probably see me do it in this video maybe. So I'll just let this go, and basically you're just watching me paint anyway, so there's more segments to come, so it'll just get quiet here. I thought about maybe adding some music or something into this, but the next clip's coming up soon. This is only a couple-minute video, I think, maybe 5 minutes or something, so I'll just leave it at this. So have a good one. All right, in this next segment here, I taped the bottom part of the body because I'm going to shoot the black. I do paint inside the cabin, like where the headliner and all that would be, because I wanted that black. So you see me shooting the black here. And again, I removed the airbrush spraying just to talk about it. Some of the shots were out of view, like my hand and all that. You'll see my elbow, and had the camera sitting on a tripod, and I meant to zoom it out a little bit. I was painting multiple bodies that day. I really wasn't all that YouTube savvy back then, although I knew, how to make a video and edit it and do all that stuff. But you get better as you go, I guess. But the camera was kind of moving around a little bit, trying to stay focused on the center, because it tracks like where it's looking. I think it had like a
focal track or whatever. It's a Sony. I don't know. It's 10 years old now. I don't remember what kind of camera. I could go grab it and look, but it's a pretty nice camera. Had an 80 gig hard drive in it, or you could use a memory card. I dropped it and cracked the case, but it still works. It's a pretty tough camera. It's like a 2K camera, 1080p. Of course, now I have 4K cameras and stuff, but it's a little bit out of the shot, but you'll see, I set it down and, just spray the black. I do a couple coats on it. So, just let you watch the rest of the video here until the end, and you'll see the next clip. So have a good one. All right, I decided to repair the audio in this section here of the video. This is a resin man that I made for one of the dragsters that I built. I put it on a stick so I could paint it, but I had pressed it in some extra, used some extra resin. I made a little mold out of some Play-Doh, but I eventually throw these away. The resin didn't harden right rather, and I didn't. Have enough resin to make two. I think I did keep one of them, but one of them I threw away. It was like half. But this is a model body that I repaired a fender well in. Someone had used a Dremel and tubbed it out, and they took way too much plastic away. What I had done is I got some Play-Doh and put it on a board. As you can see here, the clear part with the green Play-Doh residue is what I replaced. I had a brand new model kit, so this is a Plymouth Duster. So I had pressed the new one into the Play-Doh to make a mold, and then I set this model body down into the mold and taped it to the board, and then used some two-part resin to fill in what's missing. So basically, once you clean it up, some of the resin had spilled over on the edge. I clean all that up later. I eventually do both sides of this. I had made some video sets a few years back showing how people could repair various things. Slot cars, people drill holes. If you see, there's a couple holes where they had body mounts and stuff. So there's ways to fill those, although I don't show that in this video. But here's the brand new model body that I used to make the template by pressing it into Play-Doh to get the clear part that's a different color there. So I was just going through showing how I go about that and putting it in. The rest of it's pretty self-explanatory, really. You clean it up and, sand it and do whatever you need to do. And once it's painted, you would never know that it was done. You'd never know that someone took that much plastic away. And there's a couple holes in the trunk. I don't know if this had a wing on it or if they had it mounted that way. Some people mount bodies in a weird way. So I usually pin them on the sides, in the back and in the front. It just depends on what kind of chassis you have in the slot car, but it's just demonstrating how you could use a new model kit and repair one that's just like it if you have this kind of issue. Most people don't take that much plastic away. I don't know why they did. Maybe they had some really big tires on it or something, but this was a model that a guy at a slot track, he bought a new body and he was going to throw it away, and I told him that I could fix it, and he wanted to see it after I'd done it. And here I'm just taking these out of the Play-Doh. They didn't quite harden all the way, but this is the one that I didn't have enough to finish anyway, so um, I end up throwing it away. But had it worked right, you just let this resin cure. It's depends on how much activator you mix in it. Usually within an hour or two, or overnight, it's definitely cured. So uh, I just toss these in the garbage, I believe, at the end of it. But that's obviously not showed on camera. But just things you can do. And the rest of the video, I'm just talking about what I was going to do and, to clean it up. And this looked like it was glue bombed a little bit around the windows and some other stuff. So I have the car around here somewhere. I think I painted this body and repaired all these. I used it to demonstrate, doing little repairs. Filled all the holes with like pieces of plastic sprue or um, there's various techniques you can use. But this is back when I used to make videos pretty regular for the original channel and build slot cars. I was doing this stuff pretty regular, so um, but there you have it. Next section coming up is just me testing and tuning a Dodge Stratus that I built, and another guy was running a car, so I'm just going to put some music for the rest of it. So, thank you for watching.